Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Thursday night football, we have my Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll start with the spread, we'll go to the total, and then we'll finish with the props. Let's get this money. Firstly, Chargers are -3 on Bet365. On a lot of books, they're trending up to -3.5. But either way, I like the Chargers to win and to cover. And this is the slightest of leans. It's not a strong lean like the Bengals were last week. So let's get into this game. And I want to start with my Minnesota Vikings. And you're probably saying, Lawson, I'm sure your first concern is about Carson Wentz and the quarterback position for the Minnesota Vikings. No, honestly, especially in this matchup, it isn't. The thing that has been worrying me a ton about the Minnesota Vikings has been this defense, especially the front four and their lack of ability to generate pressure. And this Vikings defense, the way Brian Flores designed it, is for this unit to get pressure, and it's just not happening. Obviously, against the Chargers offensive line, that should help. I know Joe Alt's coming back, but I still feel like Herbert is working with a really, really shitty unit on the other side. But with that being said, firstly, the front four has been in flux for Minnesota the whole year. They haven't been great at stopping the run, and they haven't been great at winning one-on-one battles on the front four. And every single week since week 2, we keep hearing Van Ginkel's coming back. Van Ginkel's practicing. And we're hearing the same thing this week, and every single week he doesn't even play. But even if he does play, I do wonder, can the Vikings defense get into the comfort zone that they need to be? And this front four needs to be more productive in a wide variety of reasons. When you can't stop the run, or when you're not great against the run, the Vikings can't get teams in the third and long situations, and that's what this defense was created to do. And when you look at the Vikings secondary, listen, I'm not hating on guys like Isaiah Rodgers, who's having a career year, but let's be honest, there's no lockdown guys in the Vikings secondary, and there's no dogs back there who can cover man-to-man. The Vikings defense is complex, but it's rather simple what they want to do. They want to stop the run. They want to get you to those 3rd and 7, 3rd and long situations. Then they can start raining down blitzes, and this secondary likes to play a lot of zone, and they like to fool the quarterback when he's under pressure and create turnovers. You just can't do that with the way their front four is playing, especially on first down against the run. And that's why I'm going the Chargers to win in the cover. On the other side, I get it. The Chargers have looked terrible, and we've gotten against them, and we hit that massive authoritative bet with the Colts last week when people doubted us. I get it. This Chargers team is playing really bad right now, and I have a lot of criticisms. But when it comes down in this game, I think it comes down to Herbert making more plays than Carson Wentz. And when you have Carson Wentz, when you have that joker card in the equation, you always have to factor in turnovers. And in a close game with a 3 or 3.5 point spread, you have to worry about them. And one turnover can change the game, and I think it will here. I know the Chargers aren't going to run the ball well. I know Haskins, I know he's not going to come in and run the ball well, even if he plays. And Vidal had that good game against the Dolphins' run defense. But outside of them, who hasn't ran the ball well against the Miami Dolphins this year? So I think this game, honestly, I don't mean to make it too simplistic. I don't mean to make it an NBA type analogy, but sometimes on Thursday night football, which is the degen night of betting on the NFL, it comes down to which dog do you like more? Which NBA player do you think scores more points? And when it comes down to it, give me Herbert against Carson Wentz. Even with the Chargers defense just banged up, it looks like Khalil Mack is going to get more snaps than he did against the Colts. And I have to be honest, man, a big part of this game comes down to, can the Vikings offense run the football? Can they? I don't think they will. And that has been one thing that has hurt Carson Wentz. I mean, the Vikings weren't able to run it against the Eagles, and the Eagles have been getting gassed every single game this year. I don't think the Chargers run it well, but I do think Herbert makes more plays. Give me the Chargers with the spread. When we talk about the total, right now it's 44.5, 45, depending on the book that you choose to place your bet with. Like I said, I think this score is going to be a game type like 24-20. And that's why I'm going the under. I'm sure a lot of the money's on the over. I see a lot of people touting the over as a pick. I'm not trying to sway you off of it, but just remember, it's a Thursday night game with Carson Wentz playing quarterback on the other side, and the Chargers offense that's just... Listen, man, they're not hitting like everyone thought they would after the Chiefs game. They're not protecting, and even with Joe Alt back in the rotation, there's still going to be a massive hole at one of the bookends, and they haven't been great in the interior. Give me the under 45. Now let's get to the props. Give me Jordan Addison over 53.5. And last week, Coop spotted this early on Discord, and we had it on the Friday video, and I think this is one we have to get behind. Now, let's say you're in Harbaugh's chair. Let's say you're in Minter's defensive coordinator meeting room. Obviously, the first thing you want to talk about is how the hell do you take Justin Jefferson out of the game? And I think that works for Jordan Addison. I think Jordan Addison is going to have space. I think he's a criminally underrated player in this league, and his player prop was low like this against the Eagles. What did he do? He exploded for over 100 yards, and Jordan Addison, like I said, I just want to reiterate, he's extremely underrated, and I think Carson Wentz has developed symbiosis with him. Give me Addison over 53.5 receiving yards. On the other end, I'm going to go McConkey over 56.5. And I feel very strongly about both of these. Now, I get it. The McConkey one might be coming out of left field. He was an old favorite for us last year, and I felt like every player prop video, every time we had the Chargers on Thursday night, we bet the over for McConkey. And I get it. There's more mouths to feed in this Chargers receiving core this year. Keenan Allen, Gadsden had a big game against the Colts at tight end. We get it. Quentin Jackson isn't playing as poor as he was last year, although you couldn't play any poorer. But I do think this Chargers offense needs to get back to basics. They need to get the ball out of Herbert's hands quick. And they need to get the ball to McConkey more. I feel like he has been a little bit of the forgotten man this year. I want to see more targets. I want to see him working over the middle more. And I think that's going to be a big factor in the Chargers' success. Give me McConkey over 56.5. And it's crazy that we're seeing McConkey this low. But the targets just haven't been there. And I feel like I get it. I know you guys love Keenan Allen, and I know Keenan Allen's had a great storied career, and I get it. But I do feel like Keenan Allen's been eating up a lot of targets, and he had a big game against the Colts. But that was a different type of game. That turned into an absolute shootout. Not a shootout, a blowout, and the game script favored him. Give me Addison over 53.5 receiving yards. Give me McConkey over 56.5 receiving yards. Actually, Addison's at 53.5. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet. My bad for stumbling over these props. I don't do cuts. I do it straight from the cuff. I have some notes, but I had a lot to say about this game. Thank you for supporting the channel.